SRD, aka Shadi Ali, with my man Jay Sean, aka Mr. F Love. Here, what we do is we put you up on game while keeping it real, both at the same time. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's what we're here to do. Put you up on some game and keep it real with you. So let's get into it. I want to ask you a question.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
the question is, if you were to get married again, would you do it for love, beauty, good character, or money?
Um, I mean, well, I've been married twice and divorced twice, so
Right. So what did you get married for those two times?
um, well, I believed I was in love. I guess I believed it, but I don't know if that's what I got married for love. Um, but I believe I was in love. Um, it's a big age gap between that because the first time I was 20, the second time I was maybe 2014. Uh, actually March 2014. That's 11 years ago.
Yeah,
So I probably was about
like
50.
50. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a different mindset. But if I had to do it, but if I did it again, it would definitely have to be for love. If I did it again at the age I'm in now or going forward. Or I would marry for money too, though. To be honest, and keeping it real, I would like if I met a wealthy woman. Uh, I think 9 out of 10 men would do that if they met a wealthy woman. Um, they call the women who husbands passed away.
Widows.
Widows. If I met like a millionaire widow,
Right.
you know what I mean. So I would think at the age I am now, money sound pretty good. But moving forward, it probably would be for love because I'm still at that mindset and I'm still at the mindset where I'm not really too prone on love. So I can't really just say that I would marry for love right now. You know, probably and money at the age right now go maybe like 5 years down the line probably would be more love.
Okay.
It would have to be like that. Um,
Okay. Anybody in the audience, if you were to get married, if you're not married, if you were to get married, would you get married for love, uh, beauty, good character, or money? And give us your answer. If you're not married, or even if if you are married, and then let us know what you did get married for.
right.
If you are married. So
I would love to hear the answer to that.
yeah, yeah, we definitely want it. So you guys can put it in, and we'll read it off, whatever it is, whichever the answer is. You know, love, money, looks, or good character, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And while we waiting on you guys, I think a lot of people get married for love and looks. I think it's two pronged. You know what I mean? Love and looks. And if you get married for those reasons, then what happens when if you love a person? What happens when the looks start fading?
Yeah. That's true.
You know, And grant you, it's one thing for looks to fade naturally because of age, because we age and we start aging. It's another thing when looks fade based on neglect.
Mm,
You know,
true, true.
yeah, it's another thing when it fades because of that. You know, so that's the thing. Like, you know, you get married. Which is it?
Um, Marriage is so right now. It's like I'm gonna tell you though, honestly, right now.
Okay, hold up before you finish that.
Oh, go ahead, go
Monty
ahead.
the True said some people get married for stability.
Who said that?
Monty,
Oh,
Monty the Truth.
I was getting ready. That's what I was getting. I mean, he took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, a lot of yeah, that's and that's a good point. Yeah, we a lot of people get married for that, and I'm wondering if that's happening more now than it used to. You know, if it's happening now, people getting married for stability. And I think that's a very good reason to get married when two people come together to actually build something together.
Right.
You know?
I was getting ready to say that
Yeah.
a lot of people is married like for stability, like he said, and a lot of people just afraid to pay, or not even afraid, or just can't pay all the bills by themselves. So having somebody there for stability, same thing, or to help them with the bills, you know, financial. I mean, a lot of people nowadays are together because of that.
Kimberly said must be love to want to be with the person. You know?
Huh?
Kimberly said she basically for love for her, it must be love to want to be with the person, to want to stay with the person. And I want to ask Kimberly something. Okay, what about the people who get married in arranged marriages? What about those particular people? They don't
Mm-hmm.
have the time to love. They just get married just because it's been prearranged. So, what's your answer to
Yeah.
that, Ken? Yeah, go ahead, Mr. F. Love.
Oh no, I was reading something. Humble said must be love, and I want to be with the person. He said it must be. And he got, if he get married, it gotta be for love,
Okay,
and he gotta want to be with the person.
okay,
Um. Well, with me, a lot of people. I'm gonna say the same thing. A lot of people caught up on that love thing, but
right.
I don't really. I don't know about that.
Well, we got another minute and a half on this particular subject. Then we're gonna go to the next subject. We're gonna try to
Okay.
keep switching up every 10 minutes to a different subject. So you guys hang with us and chime in. You know, yeah. I mean, like you said, marriage right now has become essential. Marriage for me was like it's like a business. It's like two people coming together to actually build a future, to build a
Yep.
foundation. You know,
Humble said, "Would you marry someone you don't love?"
I mean, for me, you can learn to love somebody. I think the best love is when you learn to love somebody rather than the old saying of what we hear, falling in love with somebody. I think that's I mean, because if we think about it, whenever you fall, most times you get hurt. You know, if you fall, you skin your knee, you break your arm, something like that when you fall. So for me, I'd rather learn to love somebody through being with them, spending time with them, learning the do's and don'ts and things of that nature.
I used to, I remember when you first said that. I used to, I don't know. It's just something about that when you. I don't really know. Um, it's just something about learning to love. It's like a little old school. Like I remember one time my mother told me when I don't know if I was married or I was getting ready to get married or I was out of a marriage or it was marriage was going bad, and my mother said that if you make it 5 years, if you make it 5 years, the rest should be easy. And I think I was trying to tell her um I was trying to tell her that nah, that's too long. That's
Who's
too long.
who's that? Humble
No, my mother told me that.
told you what? That five
My
years is
mo-
too long.
no, my mother told me that if you marry somebody, like it's gonna take 5 years. It's after 5 years, it should be running smooth. Your marriage
Oh,
should be
okay.
smooth. Cause I guess after 5 years, like you saying, um, you learn to love somebody. You done been through the most of the time. 5 years is enough time to go through the rocky times, the ups and the downs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That just seemed a little bit old to me. Like 5 years, it should take 5 years to get for a marriage to run smooth. You think that's right?
I mean, I guess it depends on individuals, and you got to remember that people change and grow at different paces and on different levels. So for somebody may grow into almost a different person in a period of 5 years. So the person you knew the first year, that fifth year, they may be like a different person. So that's
Right.
why it's like you consistently learning to love people if you're striving to be emotionally in tune and emotionally intelligent, then you're going to be learning to love somebody like throughout your marriage, throughout your relationship, especially if they're evolving.
Humble
So
made Humble. I
go
don't mean to cut you off, but
ahead.
Humble made a good point too. He said, "But don't you supposed to learn before you marry the person?"
I mean, what do you see? The thing about learning to love before you marry a person is people have a different perspective of marriage than they do of courtship, of being in a relationship. So it changes. You've been in relationships with people and you've been in marriages with those same people. So did it
Right.
did it not change during that time?
Yeah.
Right. So that's his answer. That's the answer to his question. It's difficult because now you've learned to love them as you guys being in a relationship or courtship versus now you got to learn to love them versus being in a marriage.
Right.
All right, so that's the end of that. Now you have a question. Now you have a question. Go to something
Yeah.
else.
I was uh. Do you think uh um men should try to find
Peace,
somebody
sister.
like their mother to marry,
I don't think we make.
or
I think
did you? Did
I
you?
I think what we do is we look for characteristics that our
Mm,
mom may have, and I think if
right.
if if we're keeping it real, Most
Right.
times, our first love is our mom. You know what I'm saying? So that's our first example of what a woman should be. And if a man, if the father's is in the daughter's lives, then that's going to be the first example of what she sees of how, a man should be.
Right.
So yeah, I think we do it, just based on being raised by those individuals. So we'll take some things that, especially the things that we admired about our parents, and we'll definitely try to
Right.
look for that in our mate. Yeah, I really believe we would do that. I really believe people do that, and I did that to an extent.
And I think that we even do that like subconsciously. You know what I mean? Even though um you don't really know that, but subconsciously you do. You know what I mean? You look for, like what you said, with somebody with the characteristics of your father or of your mother or of a big brother. You know, so I was reading something. Somebody had said that they had said that, so I just trying to get people thoughts on that. Should you um look for somebody like, when you're looking for a woman to marry? Should you mold that woman after your mother? Because a lot of people do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And as
So
you said, sometimes it's subconscious, but sometimes it's conscious as well.
yeah, yeah.
Now, anybody out there, you know, what about your character would you be willing to change for the sake of love? And you can answer it, brother Jay.
What about my
Your character that you will be willing to change for the sake of love.
um I would maybe try to trust more. I would maybe try to do that because it's so hard. It's so hard to trust nowadays. Well, it's so hard for me. I don't, I would assume it's hard for other people too. you know, I believe a lot of people got trust issues right now. So I believe I would, for the sake of love, I believe I would really try to work on that. Um, for the sake of it, for the sake of love. If it's love still around here, I could beat that in the head all day because so many. The more I talk about love, I'm on a late night show. The later, um, is the more I get confused
How so?
because it seems like everybody on the same thing. Like it seemed like everybody got their own interpretation of love, and I just don't believe it. I just I just don't think it could be more than one interpretation of love. Um, Even though I know everybody is a different individual, you know what I mean? Everybody's their own individual, or no two relationships are the same, no two people are the same. But I believe that people know. I believe that everybody what not everybody, but I believe a mature minded adult knows what love is. And if they know what love is, then it should be no bending the rules for love. That's what I'm trying to say. It should be no bending the rules. It should be no exceptions. It should be no um it should be no mistakes. Now you're gonna make mistakes in relationships. Of course, you're gonna make mistakes in relationships. But I'm talking about far as knowing what your love is for a person, not what they love is for you, but what your love is for them. Because you can't control another person's mind. You know what I mean? Um, what really gets me is that it's so much infidelity in the world today. Um, it's so many people are at odds with each
Peace,
other.
peace, wife. So there's so many people at odds. So what do you think bring the odds?
Differences, um, not really knowing each other, um, not being sympathetic and understanding each other's feelings. Um, I'm not trying to say love should be love at first sight, or nothing like that. I just can't get with the point where people feel like, oh, I could cheat on somebody and still love them. You know what I mean? Like, I can't get with that one.
Okay. All right. And you made yourself kind of clear with that. But I have another one for you. If you love somebody, do you think you seek revenge if you love somebody?
Revenge, like what?
Like for example, like you use cheating. If somebody loved you, if they decided to do a revenge cheat on you, or you did something to hurt their feelings, and it wasn't cheating. It was just, something verbally you might have said to them. And now they feel like they have to do a revenge and do that to you. Do you think that's love?
No, I believe that's pain.
Okay, good. I mean, good answer.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like when we speak about infidelity, there's a lot of reasons, minus love, why people are unfaithful.
right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah, stay right there. Stay right there. Now
right.
talk about that. Break that down. Break that down for me first. Why do you think people are unfaithful?
I mean, some people, and it's different reasons for different people. I believe some people are unfaithful out of sheer habit. First of all, some
Hmm.
people just got a habit of being with more than one person,
True.
so that's something they're just used to.
Right.
Then you have people who are missing something in the relationship, and maybe they have tried to get the person to see, look, uh, you don't communicate with me enough. You don't hold me enough. As you said, you're not considerate and caring enough.
Hmm.
So some of those things, people look out, they go and start trying to obtain it with someone else.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not even saying it's the right thing to do.
Right.
We're just basically speaking on reasons or examples that people become unfaithful, you know? And I think the biggest one really is the lack of communication and the emotional intelligence of individuals. Because once you become more emotional intelligent, you start to be able to look at other people's feelings differently than just your own. Because sometimes it's just something you do. Some people have cheated just to see if they could, just to see
Yeah.
what it's like. You know what I mean? Have been unfaithful just to try it. So it's a number of different reasons, and for me, it's difficult to say a person don't love you, because okay, you have people who say they love you, and
Right.
yet they don't do everything to the best of their ability to enhance the love towards you. You know, for example, if you met a woman, and when you first met the woman or the man, he was in the gym consistently.
Right.
They was eating right. They were real sensitive to your needs.
Right.
You get with the person. Now they stop going to the gym. They talking to you any kind of way, and your feelings, are not that important anymore. So, but yet they say they love you. So is that really love?
Um, I don't know. I don't know.
so so it's a number of things. See, and this is why I say that people's interpretation of love and based on the level that they're on determines how they love.
Right.
If you got a person who has spent a good amount of time, as you said on occasions, loving themselves, really getting to love themselves,
Right.
getting to know themselves, getting to know what makes them happy, what makes them sad, what motivates them, you know, what inspires them. Now you meet this person. This person is more in tune with themselves, so they're going to be, in my opinion, they're going to be more receptive to love than a person who just got out of a bad relationship, didn't spend no time dealing with or processing the breakup, and they jump right back in the relationship. You know, and
Yeah.
and you think about how many people actually do it that way, the latter. Get out of a relationship and jump right back in one before they really spend time with themselves, get to love themselves, get to, know themselves over. Because when you're in a relationship with somebody, some parts of yourself you neglect because you with somebody else. So you're gonna neglect some parts of yourself,
Yeah, that's real.
you know? So that's gonna happen if you're in a position where you're trying to please your significant other. Now, some people do it more than others. Some people will totally lose themselves. Other people just know a balance where I could give of this much of myself, but I'm gonna hold back right there. You
Right.
know,
Um, I would hope that love and marriage is making a comeback. This year.
I mean,
Um, I don't know. I hope it's making a comeback though. The world really need it.
audience. What do you think? Do you think love and marriage is making a comeback? Now, I want to speak on something else now.
Hmm.
What is your take about us as a community when it comes to Financial literacy.
Financial literacy. Um, I don't see a bright future because when you say that, I think about the youth. I don't think about people like me or you. When I hear people talk about the community or things like that, I put my focus on the youth because those the ones that's coming up. You know what I mean? And I think those is the ones that need more guidance and correction and guidance. To to better, the better the state of being, the better the community and things like that. Because a lot of times, you can't really teach an old dog a new trick. So a lot of older people is kind of stuck in their ways. You know that from when you talking about the Moors and stuff like that.
Right.
You could talk about that, and you will hear people, and even people might even hear you talk about it, and might even say it sound good to the ear, but people are so stuck in their old ways. Even me, people are so stuck in their old ways that they're gonna be passe about it. You know what I mean? So when I think about community and things like that, I think about the state that our youth are in. Um, and I don't like to throw bones because it ain't like I'm doing anything to change the community. You know what I mean? I'm just one person. Um, and I don't really think I got the Martin Luther King or the Malcolm X spirit in me to push. Not right now. I don't. I got too many problems, too many things going on with myself. You might feel like you ready. I mean, I don't. I don't really. You know. I mean, that's the way you talk, like you talk, because you ready. Like
Right.
I'm really not. I'm really not ready yet to push the nation or the youth where they supposed to be. I should be, but I'm just not. I look at the because I got children in their 20s, and I look at them, and well, some of them, not all of them. Put it like this: with some of them, and it's like they falling right in line, smoke weed, drink, party. You know what I mean? And work. It's like the same thing we was doing. You
Right.
know what I mean? And you shouldn't really want your kids to go through what you went through. You should want better for them. You know.
Absolutely.
So like some of my daughters. So when I hear them going out and you know smoking and drinking and partying and stuff like that, it's kind of like a down spiriting thing. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you shouldn't want the same for your kids that happened for you. You know what I mean? You shouldn't want your kids to walk in your footsteps. Like
Well, let's say you don't want them to follow the stuff that you felt that wasn't productive.
right,
You know what I mean? Now, when I bring up financial literacy, those things are included: the smoking, the hanging out, the drinking.
right,
These are all vices that cost money.
right,
So it's about finding a balance. It's about, okay, if you, and I think this is something we many of us need. Let's say you get your check, 50% of your check gonna go on bills, paying bills.
hmm
30% of your check either 30 or 20, you should go, it should go on your leisure. If you want to drink, smoke, whatever that is.
All right.
Okay? 20% of it should go towards a savings, some type of savings.
Right.
If we start implementing this inside of our community, we will change the dynamics of what's happening in our communities. Another thing that's important is credit scores. Statistics say that communities with 700 credit scores have less violence, less crime.
Mm.
Communities with 500, a little above, have lots of crime. Also, they have what you would say check cashing places, liquor stores, fast food restaurants, places that funnel their money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That funnels the money from them. And peace, Kev. So it's necessary for us, I believe, as a community, to become more financially literate when it comes to our money. We, as a people, statistics say we have trillions of dollars if we put all our money together.
Mm-hmm.
So if we, as a people, have trillions of dollars, if we put all our money together, why aren't we? Why don't we have more businesses where we are employing ourselves? That's what financial literacy is about. Doing productive things with your money and also being able to enjoy your money as well. So it's about finding a balance, and many of us need to be taught. Let's face it, we haven't been taught that. That's not something that you know. We saw our parents make ends meet when we were younger. They had something. Remember, they had like this little banking account when we were like in fourth grade. You know what I mean? We used to get the banking account. They don't have that anymore.
Christmas clubs and stuff.
Right, right. So we had a little glimpse of what it was like to embrace financial literacy. Now it's about how much money you can spend and what you got to show for what you spent when it comes to name brand clothing and name brand sneakers and top brand
I,
cars.
I like
Go ahead.
that. And now it's about how much you spend. I like that. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. That's and that's what it's about. So we as the elders, it's up to us to be able to try to instill something different where we be able to show them a better way when it comes to saving money because you know it if you think about it, how many people today are working and they don't even really have a real retirement savings plan,
A lot.
you
A
know?
lot.
And,
A
and
lot.
right. And not because they didn't make the money, is because they wasn't aware of what they needed to do to make that happen. Some people are fortunate enough to have like a 401k where the employer adds to it,
Right.
you know? Other people may even have that some people even have that 401k and they don't allow it to be a benefit to them by if they're gonna match it, make sure, look, 20%, 10% of it goes into that 401k. Find you something else that you can invest your money in where you can actually see a good interest rate.
Right.
Because ultimately you want to be able to retire and live off your pension and whatever you saved. You know,
True. Yeah.
so that's something that I'm really becoming more invested in. You know, when it comes to, as you said, the Moors, our nationality. So
Yeah.
we need. I believe if we get our politics right, our finances right, and our spirituality right, it will change our social dynamics. It will change what's happening in our community socially.
Yeah.
If we are able to get those three things on board. Spirituality, because it connects us to something greater than ourselves, and it also connects us to each other. Nationality, the same thing, because it gives us a connection to each other, and it also, at its best, will give us political power to be able to maneuver in a manner where we can make a difference. And, not only in our lives, but in the lives of those coming behind us, as did, you know, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and the people in the 60s.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
they each generation duty was to make it better for the generation that follows them. And I
True.
think out of all the generations, I think our generation dropped the ball more so than everybody else. I think so. You
Yeah, I
know what I
know
mean?
so.
So while we are still here, that's why I'm so motivated to make up as best of my ability for dropping the ball during our younger years, and you know give that knowledge now, because once we're gone, the knowledge is gone. If we don't share the knowledge with the youth, then the knowledge is gone.
That's true.
So it's necessary, and it's our responsibility to share that knowledge with, with the young people. And I can't reiterate enough the importance of doing that. 50% of your check to pay your bills, 30 to enjoy yourself, and 20 to save. And between that 30 and 20, you can vary it. If you want to do 30 to save and 20 to have fun with, whichever one. But you if you get used to doing that, I think we will be in a better position as a community when it comes to socially, economic, you know, and
Yeah.
with the financial situation.
Um, cause I was fortunate. My mother like taught me about savings. Not my father, but my mother did. My mother took me to the bank when I was like 12 or 13 with a paper route, opened up a bank account. Then when I got a little bit older, he taught me about the Christmas clubs. When I started working, taught me about the Christmas club. So I kind of had a jump on saving, and I could never really understand or want to understand when people seem to like live in check to check. Like I always that was like a no brainer for me. Like I don't want to live check to check and not have nothing, saved or nothing I could, I didn't ever want to do that. But everything I agree with everything you're saying, and I agree with our
Generation Peace,
our
Peace,
generation
Shonda.
our generation dropped the ball.
Yeah, and yeah, we definitely did. And the youth that's under us, they know that.
but
They know that we dropped the ball.
but I'm gonna tell you something, Sha. We dropped the ball, but we knew how to play the game. What I mean by that is that we had the unity. You know that because of the different blocks: 17th Ave, 12th Ave, 10th Ave, Park Ave, Alabama. You know what I mean? That was that wasn't a collaboration of unity, but that was unity.
Right.
Also, we had the ability to make money. So we had the unity, we had the money, we had the mindset that the to make money and do things, and we went shopping and we bought cars and we did all of that. But I feel we dropped the ball um when we didn't unify completely, and we didn't pass it on to the next generation of you know how it should be done, even if we didn't do it like that. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, the generation after us, they wasn't as close as we was. um a lot of times that we probably had disagreements and fights among us of our area, but the next generation took it to another level. Like, they would kill one another, you know what I'm saying? And they would really try to hurt each other, stab one another, shoot one another, something like that. Now, I don't know where that came from. Maybe TV, rappers, gangster rap. I was listening to Nelly the other day, and Nelly said that did you hear Nelly what he said?
Nah, what he say?
Nelly said gangster rap was cool until a real gangster came along. He said drill rap, that music in Chicago, drill rap was cool until a real one came along. I guess King Von. You know what I mean? Till a real one came around. Gangster rap was cool till a real one, 50 Cent, came around. Um, um, uh, I don't know what you call the women is be getting nasty, and Cardi B and all of them, like how they dress.
Right, right.
All they said all that was cool to a real hoe came around, and you know what I mean. And well, that word is a little bit too much, but now you got all the women half dressing, like everything is cool until it's too much, and then and imagine if because when we was around, we had Queen Latifah, Moni Love, MC Light. We had Twalib Kweli,
Charlotte,
uh,
yeah.
Poor Righteous Teachers, the Brand Rubians, King Shabazz, King Son. We had Brand Nubians. We had all that. Then it went from that to NWA. You know what I mean? And from Queen Latifah to Little Kim and Foxy Brown, and then from Foxy Brown, Little Kim to Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj. I'm afraid what the next generation gonna be like.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is, when you talk about us in our generation, we had all the tools to change our conditions and
Right.
have a whole different outcome
That's
with
what
the
I meant.
with the generation.
That's what I meant.
However, what happened was, as smart as and wise as we were,
Right.
we got manipulated through the money.
Right.
I often think about,
And drugs.
well, that's what brought the money.
Yeah.
That's what brought the money.
Right.
So when it came to us having, like, Black medallions, no gold. We used to,
Yeah.
we used to rock the black medallions. We was Afrocentric,
Yeah.
Then we became the
Right.
gods in the earth. So our movement and our position was really about enhancing us as a people. Then you look at the government when all the cocaine started coming in. Richard Pryor was an icon. They used the icon to push the base. Then shortly after pushing the
Freebase.
base, we selling base.
Freebase.
Yeah. Then the song, you know, by Melly Mel in them,
Yeah. White
White
line.
Line.
White
So
line.
we got caught up, and what happened? They utilized, America utilized our weakness from being influenced by the
Mm-hmm.
money. And what we did was we set a standard for it to come like it is now. We started that standard. So the way rappers is with the chains and all the money, that was our lifestyle.
Yep.
So they emulated the lifestyle of the drug dealer, but threw it with the rapper. And now
Mm.
they made it public and worldwide to
Mm-hmm.
filter down to the youth. So now
That's
you
why.
get, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now the youth start
That.
following that up.
That's why. That's why. You hear real drug, like not real. Well, you hear drug dealers a lot. From New York and stuff, be like telling like, yo, different rappers, because when rappers first came out, it was corny. Like people didn't
Yeah,
really want to be rappers because
yeah.
they was rapping about the people that they know lives is on the corners, like, so they really, you know what I mean. But look, we gotta hold that thought, man, to next week.
All
I
right,
gotta
it's
go.
cool. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah,
If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't followed, follow. And
right.
we'll see you next week. To
Uh,
then, leave you all with
hope
peace.
don't
Go
cut
ahead.
off yet. I gotta let everybody know that I'm going over to my Facebook Live in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna go over there, take a quick break, and then I'll go over there to Facebook Live and do my hour over there. It's been a pleasure, good conversation. Hope you come back next week. Something I wanted to say. Something I meant to say. I probably can't remember. I'll remember it. I'll remember it next week.
All right.
I'll think about it next week. I'll write it down. I can't really remember, but good show, everybody. And I'm going over to Facebook Live. Everybody have a good weekend. Be safe. And stay healthy. Peace.
Peace.